Yeah.
And that's distinguished now.
Yeah.
But I also heard that in some areas they're going to abolish that distinction.
Yeah, gradually abolish it.
And then you strengthen the effect of more permanent migration to the cities, and this character of the countryside that you're sketching now will be stronger even.
Yeah, that's the case. So that's also the central government want to abolish these kind of the household registration systems.
Yeah.
But now in the inland China or in the medium-sized cities, the government has already done that. But in the big city like in Shanghai or coast areas, they face huge difficulties, because in the coast area, in the bigger cities, they are really worried about this kind of the large inflow of the migrants. So the city cannot cope with it in terms of the social welfare system. At this moment, if you become urban residents, if you are labor force with the urban status, in addition to your salary, then you will pay equivalent to 48% of your salary into these social welfare systems. If you are the migrant labor, you do not pay that 48%. So it means this makes China's labor cost really very low, mainly at the cost of these
rural migrants.
Yeah. So that's a major problems in China at this moment. But on the other hand, this makes China's goods so cheaper. Yeah. So sometimes I argue that this Chinese migrant labor, their cheaper labor, make everyone enjoy relatively good life, not including the China's urban residents, but also including people maybe in here, because you buy the cheaper Chinese goods because they all use the cheaper Chinese migrant labor. So that's, I think, the really Chinese migrants, this kind of cheaper labor benefit everyone in the world. But I think it's unfair to the Chinese migrants.
Yes.
My name is Khalid Chaudhry. The first thing which I would like to say, that's regarding import brides. You don't have to worry about China's policies, having one or two child. Because in this country, there is a debate going on now, right now, to restrict imports brides from a specific group of citizens in this country. So to get rid of, the increase of one specific. So you don't have to worry about that or nothing about that. The second thing which I would like to say, although I am frightened, listening to the second speaker about China's intentions to divert the water routes from Himalaya towards Chinese mainland China. That means not only India, but Pakistan, both are going to face, what sort of drought and problems. So perhaps you would like to put some light on that. And the question, now comes my question. Let's say China right now is having, remarkable progress, industrialization, export throughout the world, But perhaps after 10 years or 15 years, there will be some sort of, decrease in exports of China. But then there will be increase of population. So what about the availability of food and other basic necessities, education and healthcare, etc., at that period, after 20 years or something? Thank you for this.
So actually, the two questions. One is related to the water project. So actually, we call it the transfer water from south to north. That's the bigger plan in China. Basically, they have the three routines. One is the eastern routine, central routine, and the western routine. At this moment, the eastern routine is bring the water from the Jiangsu province, the coastal area, through the great canal to the Beijing area. So this already partially in function. And the central part is bring the water from the central part of China centered in Wuhan area. So bring the water from that central part to the north. So these are in the construction. The Western routine is still even not in the paper yet. Just people discuss these kind of things. Actually, in China, we know that this kind of international waterways I think it's involved a lot of the international laws, and not only the Yangtze River or in the Himalayas, because also in the Greater Mekong areas. Because the Greater Mekong areas, the Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand, they all the water, the upper reach is in China. So that I think that the Chinese government in general take a more cooperative approaches to discuss with the neighboring countries to try to solve the problems. So that's for me. I think it will be a problem, but I think that based on my understanding of the Chinese government attitude, so they will take a more cooperative approach rather than the China will determine to do things, regardless the interests of other countries. So that's my general reply for that. The second is about the future China's economy. Because we realize that because the peak of the China's labor force will be reached around the year 2016. So by that year, the total Chinese labor force will reach about the 1 billion labor force. After that, China's total labor force will decline. So basically, there are two options to solve the problem, or two proposals to solve the problem. So one is that the China have to take the adaptive measurement, try to restructure China's economy, to gradually shift from export-oriented economy, from the labor-intensive economy towards the intensive, or towards this knowledge-intensive economy. So this involves the greater restructure of China's economy. The second is China has to delay the retirement, because at this moment for the Chinese man, we can get retired at the age of 60. For Chinese woman, Chinese woman can get retired at the age of 55. So this retirement age was set up during the 1950s. So did not change over the last half a century.
We have the same discussion here at the moment.
Yeah.
Different ages, but basically the same discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but with this kind of the population aging, with this kind of the gradual reduction of the labor force, China may have to delay the retirement age. So this especially this is good for women, because at this moment Chinese women are forced to get retired 5 years early, at least 5 years early compared to their male counterpart. But this will make Chinese women's position much worse. For example, in China at this moment, on average, Chinese women's income is only 70% of their male counterpart. Major reason for that is because in general, Chinese women work 5 years less compared to their man, to the man. And also, Chinese women are more and more concentrated in woman gender isolated these kind of jobs. So this is the main reason. The second, because China's current the pension system is based on your personal contribution to the pension fund. But women retired 5 years early, so their contribution to the pension fund is lower compared to their male counterpart. But on the other hand, women live much longer than their husband or their male counterpart. It means in that way, women's pension will be, on average, women's pension is only 9% of their male pension. So thinking in that way, we are dealing with the problem of the feminization of the urban poverty, or the feminization of the old age poverty. So that's become another social issues. Yeah. So that's a lot of the, also the policy studies we are doing that. At least we try